Welcome to the Community Difference Plano, powered by the Difference Media LLC,
and hosted by Nathan Smith with the Enfuego Group, and also sponsored by Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage, Lauren Gill with My Live Love Travel, Diane Castle with Castle to Castle, Tracy Duff with Assisted Living Locators, Megan Schaffer with the Hive of the Happily Insured, Jeannie Smith with Guardian Mortgage, a division of Sunflower Bank N.A.,
and by Audra Hooper with Alloy Personal Training at the Gleneagles and Plano and Castle Hills locations.
The Community Difference Plano was created to serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals. So sit back and relax as our host, co-host, and their guests share inspirational stories, experiences, thoughts, and insights about being a professional, along with the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in very special ways. Because the Community Difference Plano starts now.
Good morning, Plano. It is 11:32 on a fantastic, beautiful Wednesday morning. Welcome to the Community Difference Plano, a podcast firmly rooted at the intersection of business development and community involvement. I am your host, Nathan Smith with the Enfuego Group. We specialize in guiding your personal finances and helping you to properly protect your income. We're not just about financial freedom, but we're also passionate about empowering aspiring entrepreneurs to break free from corporate America. So I invite you to join us in our mission to ignite the fire for freedom and help you to live life on fire. Let's get to it today. We have a stellar show lined up as we continue it's actually our last week for our October topic, brand relevance, the overlooked piece to effective branding. We will dive into that head first during our second segment. But first, we want to figure out what is going on in the great city of Plano, our surrounding Collin County neighbors as well. So in order to do that, let's bring in our co-host today to help me along with that process. So if you'll give a warm welcome to Audra Hooper, who's passionate about helping busy individuals incorporate healthy habits into their daily lives, empowering them to live joyful, balanced lives. She has a bachelor's in health science and certifications in integrative nutrition, as she's a health coach and a personal trainer. She gives her clients training and nutritional support to discover their inner strength and well-being. Please welcome, with Alloy Personal Training, Audra Hooper. Audra, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
It's a great day. How are you doing?
I'm doing great today.
Good to have you. Good to have you here. Tell me, what is let's start here. What's your favorite thing about Plano, Collin County, and then specifically this time of year? I think a lot of things are happening. What's your favorite thing about just being in this community?
There are a lot of things happening. I just love that no matter how many businesses relocate and open in Plano, it still reminds me of a small town in ways, because there's still so much community and community involvement. Specifically this time of year, I get most excited about how you see people looking for ways to give back and get more involved in the community. I just think the spirit of giving starts to be contagious around this time of year.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Let's bring in your counterpart, your co-host with you, an educational expert and successful entrepreneur specializing in college admissions and K through 12 education. She mentors students in IQ, EQ, and DQ, preparing them for leadership and college success. An author, a yoga instructor, a keynote speaker, she's passionate about wellness and child development, offering strategic college planning and essay guidance for high school students. Please welcome Meenakshi Singh. Meena, good morning.
Good morning.
Quite the resume you've got there. A lot of stuff going on. That's awesome. What is DQ? I know what EQ and IQ. What's DQ?
It's not Dairy Queen. It's
like seems like a kind of a right turn.
This is my second book. I'm writing it with Raymond Aaron, who's also an author of Chicken Soup.
Oh yeah.
So I'm co-authoring this book. It's all about intelligence quotient, emotional quotient, and digital quotient.
Digital
It's,
quotient. Okay.
so digital
Interesting.
quotient is basically how to understand the relevance of how to use digital technology to the best of the use and not left behind. And
That
how
sounds,
you
yeah,
can
I
be
can't wait to
relevant
read.
in the future.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Tell me, what's your favorite thing about Plano?
I think the community is so vibrant and there's so many things going on and very welcoming to the local businesses. I myself had a center there on Spring Creek and Coit, and we had a good run before, COVID. And so I think the community and all the businesses which are there, and so much happening during holidays, right? And there's so many events, and right now there's trick and treat and trunk and whatnot is going on. So yeah.
I love that. And there's always something to do, which is great. Especially you get that, like Audra was talking about, get that small town feel, especially as
Yes.
you go east in the downtown area, which is not far from where I live. So I absolutely agree. Let's bring in our first guest with over 12 years in medical marketing, the owner of Herzog Vitality Center, continuing his late father's legacy in women's health with degrees from BYU and SMU. He combines cutting-edge science with personalized care to enhance clients' vitality and well-being. His passion lies in holistic health, offering tailored treatment and compassionate care to help clients feel their best. With Herzog Vitality Center, Jonathan Herzog. Jonathan, good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are y'all?
I'm doing great. What do you love about the community? I know you've heard some of our conversation, but what are you kind of looking forward to in Plano this coming fall?
Oh goodness. Well, our location is right there across the street from the Prestonwood Baptist Church at about Marsh and Plano Parkway, which is really close to my favorite spot in all of DFW, which is the Arbor Hills Preserve. That's a great place to go connect with nature, and especially now with the leaves changing and everything. That spot holds a really special place in my heart because it's a great place to just get away from all of it. And that's what I love about Plano is you can be in the business world and the community, and that's a great spot to kind of disconnect and reconnect with nature and yourself.
I once got lost in Harbor Hills in the dead of summer. It's that big, and it was running out of water. my map, I was having to look up on the map like where I was. Finally found a way back. It's that big. I don't recommend doing that, but other than that, it's probably one of the best nature preserves in Texas. Like it's really, really, really good. A fantastic place. We're glad you're here, Jonathan. Looking forward to hearing from you more in a moment. Let's bring in our last guest. It's going to be with us throughout the whole show with Local Pro Realty. She and her team focus on providing personalized professional service to make real estate transactions smooth and rewarding. Committed to understanding the unique need of each client and property, Local Pro Realty offers expertise and dedication throughout the buying and selling process. Please welcome Dina Custer.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Dina. How are you?
I am doing great. The sun is shining. It's going to be a great day.
It's a beautiful day outside. Absolutely. Absolutely. We're glad you're here. You're being in the real estate space. You obviously get to see all over North Texas, specifically Plano, Collin County. What are some of your favorite things about being in this community?
It's so funny that you asked that question because we had an out-of-state guest visiting recently, and they asked me the question, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live? And I said, right here. And they said, no, I mean, anywhere in the world, anywhere. And I said, no, I would live right here. This is my home. We moved here and we decided we would move into the Shops at Legacy. And just so we got to know all the cities around in Texas where we might want to live. And we've never left Plano. We just stayed right in Plano. I think that my favorite thing about Plano that I've loved seeing is its growth and its change over the time that I've lived here. It's just grown so much. And I just have always believed, healthy things grow. And so it's just so thriving, and it's just, I think they say it's the number 5 best city to live in all of the United States. I mean,
it's way up there. Yeah,
it is, but I love it.
Well, very good. We want to get some more information to you guys as far as what's going on in this city that we're all raving about. On the other side of our break, we're going to jump into our What's Up segment. But I want to bring in Brian Doyle real quick, if we can, and also Daryl Day. We're going to just tease them real quick as they get ready to for our next segment. Brian is going to speak with us. He's with Metro Relief, a couple of big, exciting events coming up. And Daryl Day is running for the U.S. House Texas 32nd District seat. So we'll get a chance to hear from him in just a moment. So stick around. On the other side of the commercial break, we'll be right back on the Community Difference Plano.
The Community Difference Plano is made possible by Nathan Smith with the Enfuego Group, Diane Castle with Castle to Castle, connecting charities to fundraising solutions, Tracy Duff with Assisted Living Locators, Lauren Gill with My Live Love Travel, Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage, Megan Schaffer with the Hive of the Happily Insured, Jeannie Smith with Guardian Mortgage, a division of Sunflower Bank, N.A., and by Audra Hooper with Alloy Personal Training at the Gleneagles Plano and Castle Hills locations. The Community Difference Plano. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
Are you ready?
Because it's time for
What's Up Plano?
That's right. What's Up Plano, sponsored by Love and War in Texas. Get ready to experience the true heart of Texas at Love and War in Texas in Plano. Savor authentic Texas cuisine, from barbecue and wild game to Gulf seafood, all while enjoying live music from some of the best Texas artists. So whether you're craving a taste of the Lone Star State or looking for a fun night out, this iconic spot has it all. Visit Love and War in Texas and discover why it's the perfect blend of Texas flavor and spirit. In fact, you can come out and join us tomorrow at Love and War in Texas, Lyndon, if you want to pop that up. We've got our live in-person Business Development Alliance training at 4 p.m. at Love and War in Texas. We do this once a month in person, and we do virtual training on the Thursdays between that. But we'll be out there tomorrow at 4 p.m. The Business Development Alliance is basically the topics that we talk about on the show. We invite all the business community to come out and just kind of workshop those things, learn how to implement them in your business. We've got great curriculum that we're going through, a book that Lyndon has actually written called, and then we're going to hang out afterwards from 5 to 7 for a happy hour. If you've never been to Love and War, I don't know what you're thinking. Have you not been there? But if you haven't, come join us. It's going to be fantastic. One quick thing, this Saturday, Lyndon, if you see that, if you have any unused, and this is pretty important, any unused or expired medication that you want to actually safely dispose of, what we want to make sure is that it doesn't get into the wrong hands. Even though your prescriptions generally come from a safe spot, they could be bad in the wrong hands of children or someone else that may be an addict of some sort. So throw that up there one more time, Lyndon, if you can. You can go this Saturday from 10 a.m. To 2 p.m. Clark High School, Plano Senior High, Plano East, Plano West, and Bowman Middle School, which is actually right across from where we live. They'll drop it off for you. Call any questions. Take a screenshot of this if you need to, but make sure we're disposing of that properly. Okay, Meena, you've got some exciting things coming up in the spirit of the holiday season, which is right now Halloween. So some scary things at Legacy. So share those with us if you would.
Yes, I mean, there's so many things going on, but I think the top ones are on October 25th, this Friday, on Maggiano's. They have a dinner and a murder mystery. So that should be a great event to go to. And then the other one is on Legacy Hall. I mean, that's my husband's favorite hangout place. So they have Back from the Grave, and they have a costume contest and music, and they're doing Queen's Legacy this Friday. So this Saturday, this is on October 26th. So I think these are two events that stood out to me, and I thought everybody would enjoy. And they have great eating places, and support our local businesses and communities. So
have you ever done a murder mystery before? Anybody on here? You guys ever? It's like a live game of Clue. Maybe y'all remember Clue back in the day?
Yes, I have done one long time back, but not in Maggiano's. I'm sure it's going to be good with Italian food.
It's always Colonel Mustard with the wrench. That's always what it is. So just know
Yes. Yeah.
that's your best bet there. So thank you, Meena. I appreciate that very much. Audra, if you'll introduce Brian, I know we've got some exciting things coming up with Metro Relief.
Yes, I am so excited that Brian was able to join us today. I met him about a month ago and just instant value alignment. He and his team over at Metro Relief are doing so much to help our local homeless population. And I even had a personal experience last Friday. He was able to get my son and I on their outreach bus and go out and be hands-on in the community helping our local homeless population. So I wanted to invite him on today to tell us some things that Metro's doing and some of their upcoming events that you can also participate in.
Awesome. We're glad you're here, Brian.
Good morning, Audra. Thanks for letting me come on, and it's good to meet everybody. We have, so Metro, first of all, we're a mobile unit. We are focused on finding solutions for our homeless community right across the Metroplex, so inclusive of Plano and Collin County. For 13 years, we've been doing that and engaging, which is hard to even reckon with, but there's about 7,000 to 9,000 people that sleep rough on our streets across the Metroplex, which for one of the richest cities in the world, it's hard to even understand that. But we are very focused on reaching people. We walk into woodland areas, under bridges, behind dumpsters, and find individuals, and then walk them through a healthy process to find restoration. And some of that's very complex. Many of them walking through addiction and mental health challenges, and former felons. There are about 18% that are vets that are on the street. So we work very hard in creating a pathway for each of these individuals to find a genuine sense of home and healing, however long it takes. So that's what we do as Metro. And we have a couple of things to tell you about. We have an event in Plano taking place on the 6th of December. And it's part of a global movement called the Big Sleep Out. It's actually been in 52 countries around the world, 52 cities around the world. And it started pre-COVID. Of course, the world blew up at COVID, and now it's kind of getting traction again. But it's really an opportunity for businesses, for individuals, for families, for youth groups, for local charities to get involved. We're literally going to sleep on the street in solidarity with our homeless population. We're doing a 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., a 12-hour experience, just sleeping outside. It's going to be at Cent Church, which is on Spring Creek Parkway. And it really is homelessness light, because there are restrooms available there. We're going to provide a meal. There's going to be a movie about homelessness. There's going to be some music. But we really want to kind of communicate to this broader community the need and the challenge of sleeping outside. It's a personal fundraising opportunity to do it. So you can go to our website at metrorelief.org and click on the Big Sleep Out, and it'll give you lots of information about that. We've had a great sponsorship from a local business. In-N-Out Burgers are going to provide 300 burgers for everyone out there that night. So that alone is a good idea to come out. But we just need to bring a ground sheet, bring a sleeping bag. Of course, it's Texas, so you don't know if it's going to be snowing or we're all going to be in our shorts. It could be either one. But we'd love you to come and be part of this. It's going to be amazing.
It's fantastic.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love the hands-on, tangible experience that really brings so much awareness. And it sounds like a lot more fun than what our homeless community is going through, but it brings a lot of awareness. I love that.
If you're
connected, have one more event too, right?
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, and if you're connected to a youth group or a local church and they want to take it on as a project, please reach out to get hold of me, and I'll tell you a lot more about that. And again, the website will give you those details. Before that, and it's literally, I'm living in the wake that this is just a few days away. We have our annual fundraising gala. It's an opportunity to really shop window what Metro does, both here in the Metroplex and in different parts of the world as well. It's a classic gala experience. It's at the beautiful cotton mill facility in McKinney. And I want to give an open invitation to you. Now, I really, probably my boss will kill me to do this, but we have an opportunity for you to be there. I've got about 8 complimentary tickets that I would like to give to a business leader, and a +1 who would like to take that. If someone can contact me and say, I'd love to be part of your gala. It's a sumptuous meal, wonderful music, great guests, great stories. Then I have just 8 tickets, just 2 tables to give away absolutely free. So if somehow someone can reach me, and maybe Nathan, if we can get my email up, or someone can email me and let me know they'd like to come, I will give them those tickets. They can be part of that evening when we get to champion what Metro is doing here in the Metroplex in serving the homeless.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
That sounds like a plan.
Brian, if you'll put all your contact information in our private chat here, we'll post it on the comments live so everybody can get in contact with you if we need to do that. So
thank you so much. Appreciate
my pleasure. I appreciate you. Thank you, Audra, for meeting Brian. What a fortuitous encounter. I love that. And Audra, and I think you guys kick it off. I'll give a shout out to Audra real quick, because ever since I've known Audra, which is almost 10 years. Right at 10 years, she has always been an advocate for helping the homeless. She does a shoebox drive every year. We actually before I got married, we had a big event at our house. Subsequently, where I met my wife for the first time, which was nice.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for that. I just realized that. I'm like, oh yeah. So thank you for that.
I feel like such a matchmaker.
You sure are. And we went on a date like 2 nights later, so that was great. But thank you to you, Audra, for your compassion and your care for our community that really needs our support. Let's do this as we wrap up here. We got about 7 minutes before a break, 6 or 7 minutes, and I want to turn it over to congressional candidate Daryl Day, running for the Texas House seat, District 32. And Daryl, thank you so much for being on today. Let's start with just talking about the district really quick. It's pretty large. We'll throw a map up here in just a moment. But what are some of the challenges with that wide array of people, and just what are some things that you're doing on the ground to get the word out of why this is such an important election?
Great questions. Before I go there, hats off to Brian for what he's doing in the community. And if I'm in town, count me in for the sleep out and count me in for the gala. And I'd love to meet with you to find out some of the root causes of the homeless situation in America that, as you know, is just exploding all across the country. So it's an issue that we all have to deal with. So blessings to you for what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Daryl, sir. Thank you.
In answer to your question, Nathan, CD32 has the southeast corner of Plano. It's a spread out district, goes as far north as Wiley, as far south as Balch Springs, and then as far west as Denton County. So I've put a lot of miles on my car over the last year, as you can guess.
I bet.
Very, very spread out, very diverse community, and I've run a business in CD32 for 26 years. So I love this area. Love this area.
What are some issues that you think are really important in this election, that I think that, because it's a diverse group in this district, but that everybody can really get behind?
Well, the number one issue is dealing with our southern border crisis. I mean, our border is just completely out of control, completely porous, and we've got to get a handle on it. We love legal immigration. We want to attract the best and the brightest from all over the world. So we have to fix our legal immigration system, which right now is a tremendous impediment to people coming here legally. I mean, I hear the horror stories all the time of people that have been in a 12-year fight and spent $40,000 to immigrate here legally. Meanwhile, we have hundreds of thousands of people just waltzing across the Rio Grande into Texas, and they haven't been vetted. We've just found out from ICE that 30,000 violent criminals have been let into our country, 15,000 murderers, 15,000 rapists that have just waltzed into the country. And we've got to take care of that situation. We've got to bring our border under control because our neighborhoods are at risk. We've all heard the stories about Venezuelan gangs setting up shop in North Dallas, taking over apartment buildings. That is coming to everyone's neighborhood if we don't get a handle on this mass illegal immigration at our southern border. We've got to handle that right now.
Well, Daryl, you'd think that, most people, especially business owners, but citizens in general, would want their voices to be heard. And oftentimes, that's obviously a national issue, but the local elections are actually affect us the most. But still having some issues with people actually getting out and voting, especially churches, which is crazy to me. First of all, why do you think that is? And then what would be your plea to, the faith community, but also just the citizenry on the whole, that, hey, this is the best way to make sure that you have the life that you want to live and you have a say in what's going on in your town?
Mm-hmm. That's a great question, Nathan, because a lot of Christians do stay home. A lot of people of faith, so sometimes they think, oh, well, God's in control, I don't have to do anything. Well, God is in control, but also calls us to action. And if people of faith don't vote, if they stay home, then who is going to control elections? That's going to be evil people. And if you want an evil government and an evil culture, then stay home and stay out of the process. Another part of it is thinking, well, that's just beneath me, because politics is dirty and ugly, and politics is dirty and ugly. But Jesus got involved in politics. He took on the church and he took on the Roman Empire, and he was very political. So to think that politics is beneath you, if it's good enough for Jesus, I think you should get involved in the process. Get involved. You run for your local school board, run for city council. We need people that have strong conservative values, strong faith values that are in local government. And without that, we see communities spiraling out of control.
Lyndon, if anybody wants to get involved in the campaign or contact Daryl, we've got his information. I'll scroll across the screen here. Why you talked about conservative values, and we all have our own views. I try to let the values speak for themselves. So I'm just going to ask you, why are conservative values, in your view, good for the most amount of people?
Well, our country was built on Judeo-Christian foundation, and the founding fathers, they actually ran into a snag putting together the Declaration of Independence, and they decided on a solution. They took time out and they prayed for 2 hours. And then the result was what has sprung out of it. And the U.S. Constitution is a document that has been a shining light. It's been a beacon for people all across the world for over 240 years. So I'm a constitutionalist, and I want us to get back to constitutional principles, which again were founded on godly principles, and it's the underpinning of our entire judicial system. All our laws are based on Judeo-Christian values. If you throw those out the window, we become a banana republic and chaos reigns.
Daryl, what would you say? Because there's other faith communities as well in Plano. We have a lot. I actually live not far from a large Muslim population. What would you say to them as far as conservative values or commonalities that would, say, hey, this is going to help you and your community as well?
Strong neighborhoods, safe streets, raising our children to respect authority. I mean, those are just some basic values that we've seen what's happened to society as our young people have strayed away from that discipline that the Bible calls us to raise our kids in. And we've got kids that are, a lot of kids I've heard from teachers that are just completely out of control in school. They're not being raised with the discipline that is necessary for a safe society.
Yeah, I think, there's a lot of, when it comes to family values and just wanting to kind of live your life the way you want to live it, whatever religion you choose, that's a big foundation of our country. I think there's a lot of commonality there, even in other faith communities. I think that's a great point. Well, Daryl, thank you so much. Thank you, Brian. Thank you for everybody. When we come back, we are going to dive in to our topic for the last time, brand relevance. which is extremely important. It's often overlooked, and we're going to talk about why that is. If you want to get in contact with Daryl, his information was scrolling. We'll put Brian's information in the comments. Thank you both to both of you gentlemen. Stick around. We will be right back, and we'll jump into our topic today.
Thank you, Nathan.
At the Community Difference Business Development Alliance, powered by the Difference Media LLC, our mission is to empower small business owners by transcending acceptable behaviors and outcomes into exceptional realms. We foster a culture of self-awareness, accountability, and proactive engagement, guiding individuals to recognize and overcome indifference towards transformative actions, habits, behaviors, and processes driving meaningful change. Through strategic networking, impactful content creation, and innovative top-of-mind strategies, we cultivate brand relevance and differentiation, enabling our partners and the Difference community to stand out in crowded markets. With a focus on building authentic connections, amplifying brand presence, and driving sustainable growth, we equip entrepreneurs with the tools and mindset to navigate the complexities of entrepreneurship with confidence, innovation, and resilience. Together, we aim to be the catalyst for difference makers, propelling them towards their highest potential and leaving a lasting impact on their businesses and communities. That's where our community podcasts come in. These podcasts lie directly at the intersection of innovative business development and community involvement, helping to bridge the gap between small business obscurity often seen in our communities. The community-based podcasts called the Community Difference Series are an integral part of integrating all facets of modern business development into a package of great content, positive impact branding, and top-of-mind presence, thus fulfilling the greater mission we set forth. When we set out to be difference makers, we can learn to make a difference and find the success and impact innately desired by all business owners and entrepreneurs. We are difference makers.
Alrighty, welcome back, guys. Excited to jump into this topic today, brand relevance, the overlooked piece to brand effectiveness. And as we all exist in a saturated marketplace today, the goal, of course, is to forge deep emotional connections with our consumers. And so what I want to start with, and I'll just let Jonathan or Dina or Audra or Meena jump into this, but the emotional connection, right? How do you ensure that your brand is emotionally meaningful to your audience, not just well-known, right? There's a difference between recognition and relevance, right? So you want to have that emotional tie, that meaning to what you do. How do you guys capture that? Or, in your case, because you have a brand, even though it's not a business per se, but you have a brand of what you do, so it ties to everything. How do you grab that emotion outside of just recognizing maybe your logo or something like that? I'll open up to anybody.
So what I would say, it's a great question, Nathan. What I would say, it's more about connecting with your client, giving them value, providing them with the trust that we would do our 100%, and maybe I would say go above and beyond to get the resources, get what their need is. I think Dana can speak to this because if I may say, I'm part of the realty that she runs. She's the CEO of that company, and I'm one of the realtors. And I connected so well with her, and I'll tell you a funny story about it. That when I connected, we have weekly on the Monday, we have meeting regularly at 9 a.m. And I joined it, and I grew up in a convent in India. So the first thing I heard from Dana, and the Dana is always leading the conversation. So she was saying, do the right thing, even if nobody's looking, you have to do the right thing. And I was like, what? Am I back in the convent? So that is the kind of thing that I connected so well. And I felt at home for the first time. I've been in part of the community college. I've been in Frisco ISD, been to many organizations and, even university right now. So but I felt home when I heard her, and it's been, I think, 8-9 months now at that realty. So I think Dana would be a good person to answer this question.
Thank you, Meena. I laugh every time I hear you tell that story. But you are so at home because that is the type of person you are. You do the right thing when no one's looking, even if it costs you. And we're kind of different as a real estate company. Our background before real estate and before Texas, we were pastors. And when we decided to start a real estate company, we said, what if we could start something and create a space where we can love people that way. So our clients are actually realtors, and of course they have their clients, but our clients are our realtors, and we love them like family. And so we have an interview process whenever a realtor wants to come on board, because we want to make sure that integrity factor is there, and that they are a talented person, and yes, they want to take their business to the next level, and they love to make more money and all of those things, but at the core of who they are, they love people and they serve people and they do the right thing, even at their own detriment sometimes. And that's the kind of human we look for. That's the kind of real estate professional we look for. And that's why, on our Monday morning shows, we say things like, do the right thing when no one's looking. And we talk about those things because as humans, we need to remind each other, that there are core ethics that we live by and that we work by and we serve our communities by.
Yeah. And you're talking a little bit about building kind of the long-term loyalty, which is ultimately what we want, because it's not about just being known. It's about creating that deeper emotional connection that will resonate with people's values, right? This is why relevance is always a values correlation, generally speaking. Okay. That's the difference between, kind of a fleeting fame and having a lasting impact, right? Does that make sense? Jonathan, to you, kind of the same question. Your brand, what you do in the health space, obviously very unique. How do you pull on that emotional tie to build that long-term connection with your audience, and maybe take it a step further? Are there any maybe emotional or societal needs that you're fulfilling that kind of helps you stand out from competitors, if there even are competitors? I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Great question. And I think this is one that everyone here can kind of relate to, especially Audra in her field, is that you have to make the client feel very heard. And it has to be very specific and custom so that they actually feel like you care, right? It's not a one size fits all. It's not a, you're in this bundle, you're in that bundle, I know exactly what to do. It's like, no, I hear your problem. That sucks. That must really be a struggle to go through that each day. And I'm going to walk you through how we're going to fix your specific problem, right? It's not just one size fits all. So I think really to have a lasting impression, we're humans. We love to connect with people. It's our human nature. And when we have that connection with someone, if it's our provider, that's even better. To get to that emotional level, I kind of do it on two levels. We can go digital and then in person. Obviously, in person, your staff, they have got to be on point with their purpose and feel really driven by and excited about what they do. And that's caring for people. At the end of the day, having the expertise and caring about people. And then from a digital marketing perspective, it's really kind of fun. Because you really want to have marketing and the brand and the pain points resonate. If it resonates with them and they feel like you understand their problem and you can fix their problem, then that you become, in a sense, their savior. You become the solution and you become the person that can their ideal outcome. So pain points are always an emotional, we'll call it a trauma bond, honestly, because we don't like pain as humans and we all go through it. But if we can alleviate our pain with others, then that creates a special bond.
Well, let's just take a bird's eye view for a second and open this up to everyone. What would you guys say? What makes a brand relevant? Okay, we all use brands that are relevant because they're relevant. We may not realize we're doing it, but what would you say? What would your answer to that question be? Let's start with Audra.
I really like what Jonathan said. It's that value alignment, right? I mean, you can recognize a brand. I could drive by the same business every day on my commute to work and be very recognizable to me, but I have no idea what they stand for, no idea how they might be relevant to me in my life. So it really is about what can they do for me as a consumer. You're inherently from a selfish perspective, right? So this topic I love because we're trying to get into the head space of our ideal client and figure out, like Jonathan said, what is their pain point and how am I a solution for them? I find that it's for a lot of business owners, small business owners, you get into your business because you care, you have a heart, you have integrity, like Deanna said, and where some of us fall short and what is a struggle, what I would love to learn here today and have takeaways for myself is how do you communicate that on a broad scale to a larger audience? Because when you're sitting face to face, it's a little bit easier to show that empathy and that compassion and meet that immediate need that they're communicating to you. But out there in a crowded market space, how do you communicate that and get to the heart of your ideal client and attract that through your relevance to them? So I guess that's a question for you, Jonathan, for you, Deanna. I would love to hear your answer to that.
Well, before you answer it, it really goes with the overall question of, both you and Jonathan mentioned values. Okay. So how do you show that alignment of core values? And this is beneficial because everybody that could resonate with your brand may not need what you do in that given moment. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But it's that value proposition that keeps you in their circle, in their purview, if you will. It's also, it's in a strange sense, it's almost a way to stay top of mind. That's a different kind of strategy, but in a sense, relevance is a way to do that. So how do you show those alignment of values where you can bring in people to be on your radar that may not even need what you're doing at that moment?
Yeah, I think that's, if I can jump in here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick. So for example, I think let's just keep it simple with core values of expertise. Like one of our core values is we do all the research for you. We are the experts. We know what's going on in your body. Compassion. We will listen to you. So many doctors' offices don't just listen. We'll listen and you'll feel heard. And we are passionate about what we do. So how can we portray that in amongst the masses on social media or marketing? Well, a lot of times is you show your expertise by showing that you understand the actual root cause. They're tired. I'm moody. I'm having night sweats. And you could say, actually, that's your hormones, and if you can come in and say, actually, that root cause, we're the experts on, and this is actually what you're suffering from, and you're not just tired throughout the day. So there's some authority there that you can use. And then with the compassion is really just in everything you do is really just showing that they're going to be heard. I think that's where we really focus is it's not a one stop. It's not a one size fits all. You're unique. We will listen to you because unfortunately with women's health, a lot of doctors just say, oh, that's normal. You just have to deal with it. Right. And that's where we want to jump in and say, no, you will be heard here. And so it's kind of fun, but the beautiful thing with marketing is you can kind of guess, test, revise, and see how you get a response digitally, but you've got to be on point with your values so you know exactly what you're trying to portray to your potential customers.
Well, and local businesses actually have a leg up as far as larger brands to be able to do some of those things. But I want to dive into that a little more. But Meena, I know you wanted to share something.
Yes, I just wanted to make a point, as Jonathan said, that you need to have the expertise, you need to have the knowledge to even serve your clients, and be upright and be able to serve the need that they have. And the other thing I would say, especially if I'm looking from as a realtor's perspective or even as a college counselor, that relevance also means for your brand that you need to change with the time. You cannot be stuck in some other time and be serving the needs today, because what kind of situations, or the like, even the college apps, like we've gone on digital. There's so much of involvement of AI that we are just evolving. And even as realtor, this, because of the latest the class action suit that we had, so many things have changed in real estate. So we have to stay relevant, and we have to, I would say, be prepared to serve the community better. You have to be on top of the knowledge. And I think Dana would be great to speak on that, because we keep having all these town halls, and there's so many things that we organize. Right, Dana?
Yes, absolutely. Well, we have to stay on top of things constantly. We have to stay relevant because the market changes constantly. And I tell you what, every deal and every client and every situation is so unique and different that we just have to be adaptable. And I agree with you, Jonathan. We have to ask questions. That's the difference in just being known, the recognition, the brand recognition, and the actual relevance. And we can't be relevant if we don't ask questions. We have to ask questions. Each situation, each person is unique. So we have to be ready to listen, and then listen, adapt, and meet the need. You got to know the need before you can meet the need. And as far as the changing environment in real estate right now, I know that a lot of brokerages are kind of wringing their hands over the lawsuit and the changes and the contracts and all of those things. But we welcome change, and we just get stronger and we get better. And it's about educating our realtors and teaching them to again, it goes back to doing the right thing and being transparent and making those right choices.
Yeah, we have the masterminds, the town hall, and the training that we have every Thursday, Wednesdays, lunch and learns. I mean, I love those things.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. You've got the whole training calendar memorized, Meena. I love it.
That's how I stay relevant.
Yes. And that's the kind of realtor we look for, is somebody who is learning based and just hungry for that knowledge so that they can serve their clients better. And it is about being a difference maker, and it is about helping people and changing lives. And so in order for our realtors to go out and do that, we have to equip them. So we're happy to do it.
So Dana, I have a question about that. Why did you think about local pro realty? What is the differentiating factor between us and the competitors?
Okay. Well, we came up with the name Local Pro Realtor because we believe that in the community or communities where you serve, you should know those communities and be known in those communities. And it goes back to just being relevant in your community. Are you meeting a need that's felt, And so we decided that we would, again, attract the kind of agent whose gift was to serve their people. And so we decided we would build a brokerage that not only had the tools and the resources that provided leverage so our agents could go out and be, their very best, but also to nurture that agent, realizing that agent is a whole person, not just a professional, and realizing that each agent is an individual with gifts and talents that are God-given. And so I can't remember which one of you said that there's not just a cookie cutter answer for each person, but each person is an individual. And we've got to train to that and speak to that and support that and celebrate that in each of our agents.
Well, and this goes to really the micro targeting, which is really a value of small businesses as opposed to larger brands, where you can actually kind of stay out of the national purview by just finding that niche within your community. And then when you do that, you kind of have that continual, pipeline, et cetera, of relevance. And ultimately what it means is it becomes trendy to do business with you, which is ultimately what you want. I know I got a couple people message me in the comments. We could go for another hour on this topic. We've had a great month, guys. This is one of our best conversations we've had so far. We're going to go to our break. When we come back, we're going to dive in deeper with Dina and Jonathan. So stick around. We'll be right back on the Community Difference Plano.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible. At Fireboss Realty, we believe life is about relationships, and everything else is just details. Whether you're buying or selling, Scott and Amy Johnson are here to understand your family's unique needs and deliver expert guidance on the North Texas real estate market. With a reputation for integrity and personalized service, Fireboss Realty makes your home journey stress-free and successful. Ready to make your move? Visit firebossrealty.com and let's ignite your real estate dreams.
Everyone deserves access to affordable health insurance, but with traditional insurance, costs can be high and getting coverage can be complicated. JP Direct Health is a simpler, more affordable way to get the health coverage you need. With plans for individuals, families, and small businesses, you can save money on monthly premiums without the need for physicals. At jpdirecthealth.com, we specialize in customizing coverage to fit almost every budget with affordable PPO plans and many other benefits. With over 100 5-star Google reviews, JP Direct Health is a trusted resource making health insurance affordable and accessible for everyone year-round. Affordable health insurance solutions are a proactive protection, not a reactive solution. Visit jpdirecthealth.com today and see how much you can save.
I'm always here to help. Thank you.
Are you or someone you know pregnant or planning to conceive? Caitlin Smith is both a certified childbirth doula and instructor offering childbirth classes to couples wanting an unmedicated, physiological birth outside of the hospital setting. Caitlin has served the local community since 2021 and specializes in working closely with midwives, all while best supporting a mother's physical body, her partner, and the birth environment. You can contact Caitlin through Instagram at thismamadoula or email her at caitlinsmithdoula@gmail.com to learn more about childbirth classes or her doula services.
Are you looking to buy a home? The process can be daunting, but it doesn't have to be. With the help of a qualified loan officer like Paul Fisher, you can get the financing you need and get into your dream home. Paul Fisher, a direct local lender with Certainty Home Lending, has many years of experience helping people buy homes. He's knowledgeable, experienced, and he'll work with you to find the best loan for your needs. Contact Paul Fisher today to get started on your home buying journey. He'll help you every step of the way, so you can relax and focus on finding your dream home. Visit www.loansbyfisher.com or call 817-308-7361 to schedule a consultation with Paul. MLS number 2018111.
Now back to the show.
All righty, welcome back. Let's jump in with Dina and Jonathan. First of all, I'll start with Jonathan. What drew you originally to Plano? You know, you talked a little bit about some things you like about Arbor Hills, but as far as business-wise, why do business in Plano? And then if you're giving advice to someone that's wanting to get involved locally as a business, you know, to actually talk about micro niche branding, right? That's a kind of a segue from our other topic, but what would the advice be? So why Plano, and then how to get involved as a local business owner?
Yeah, so I really like Plano for one reason, and you could look at it from a nationwide aspect, that the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Dallas in general, is least, I'm not going to say least, but they're one of the cities that is least affected by economic downturn. Okay, so you're always going to have a solid place there. And I think Plano even further, because it links out to cities like Salina, and Prosper, and it's still close enough to where you can gather outside your own city a lot of people that come into Plano, because Plano is still like a big deal. And there's so many businesses. Sure. There's so many small businesses there. The food is fantastic. It's a great destination as well as just to live. And so
food is really good, isn't it?
Exactly. You mentioned Legacy Hall. I love Legacy Hall. Just delicious. My high school friend actually created Press Waffles, which is there. So please go. I'm going to support him. He was on Shark Tank.
What's the name of it?
Press Waffles.
Press Waffles. Okay.
I've been there, Jonathan.
Yeah. So he was on Shark Tank. He did a heck of a job. So way to go, Brian. Shout out. So love Plano. It's got opportunity like that where you can obviously the clientele has success. They're business minded and they're really great customers because I think Audra said it still kind of feels like a small town, even though it's not at all. But the people kind of have that small town feel. So that's really great. And then to your second question for Nathan, you mentioned other advice for people getting into the space and kind of niching down.
Yeah. How to basically the things that we're doing on this conversation, on this podcast. What advice would you give to small business owners? It's imperative to be involved. How do you start that process in the community?
Absolutely. I think as a business owner, going back to grad school and undergrad, they forced us to do networking events. And we always were just like, oh, goodness. And we had to go to see these meetings. But as you become a business owner in a city like Plano, I have seen now how it's not just about your digital marketing. It's about your outreach and it's about your networking, like what we're doing now. Like all of you now, I now know, which is great. And it's just so much more helpful. Like I can honestly say that when I first started this, if I could go back, I would do more networking because I just thought I had to do it all on my own. And I was a little younger and maybe a little arrogant and thought I could just have this all figured out and I could do it on my own. But the value of outreach in Plano is great. And you're going to be treated with respect. They're friendly, just as all of you have. So I think it's really great. And kind of how can we all help each other? This is not us against one another. I think it's kind of us against the bigger guys, right?
Amen. So absolutely.
Let's all kind of support our small businesses. And that's kind of a fun little act of rebellion against the big guys. It's really galvanizing. And I would encourage everyone to do that. And I know after these past 6 years of owning this business, I see where that has hurt me, but also in areas where networking has really helped. And I wish I'd done it sooner.
Well, speaking of networking, you need to come out and join us tomorrow night. Come to Love and Warren. Come meet us in person if you're free. I know it's a last minute, but we'd love to have you come out at 4:00 tomorrow and meet some other business owners too, if you're available.
Well, I think I have to now. You've called me out.
It's live, so you have to come for your brand. Your brand could suffer if you don't show up. Same question to you. Great answer, Jonathan. You really went into great detail. I appreciate that very much. Dina, same thing to you. If you remember the original question, do I need to repeat it for you?
Yes,
okay.
No, absolutely not. Well, it's okay. I've already stated how much I love Plano. My husband teases me. I try to get everyone to move here. We have 6 kids and we only have one that lives in Plano and the rest of them are out of state. I'm constantly trying to get them to move here. When we have visitors, I want people to move here. There's just so much opportunity. And I think about some of the things that have already been discussed and just the stats of it's the number 5 best place to live, that, it's got the lowest crime rate. It's got all of these things going for it. And a city like that doesn't happen on accident. It's intentional. And I think you're absolutely right. There's just such a spirit of collaboration that if you want to get involved in your community, you absolutely can. Part of the reason for the name Local Pro is because we wanted to help our community. We wanted to meet needs in our community. And again, you've got to ask what that need is. And I was shocked really when Brian gave this statistics of 7,000 to 9,000 people. Did I hear that right? Are without homes. I mean, that is, there is an incredible need there. And so as a brokerage, we do community outreach. We do 4 community outreaches per year and give our agents, the opportunity to get involved and to go help the community. So we might need to connect. Brian, I would love to connect with you on this. We're passionate about finding homes for people. And so this is something that kind of we could wrap our hearts around. So,
well, Dina, you're in luck. There's a great place to connect tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. Love and Warren, Texas. If you guys, I know Jonathan will be there. So that's awesome. We'll all be there.
That would be wonderful.
I just put you on the spot again, so sorry about that. guys, thank you so much. We're going to go to our final break. When we come back, what's the difference? Probably one of my favorite segments where we ask a business question. What's the difference between two different things? Our audience, our co-host, our guests don't know what the question is going to be in advance. They're going to give us their best answer, and then we'll try to give you the official answer before we wrap up. So stick around. We'll be right back.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
Total Care Emergency Room now has 9 locations in the DFW Metroplex. With no appointment needed, our incredible staff will get you checked in with no wait times. Our 5-star facility is open and fully staffed 24/7. We offer extensive treatment options for patients of all ages, providing on-site labs and imaging equipment, including CT, X-ray, and ultrasound, allowing us to provide fast, convenient care for our community. Total Care ER is your neighborhood emergency room. TotalCare.us.
Unwanted pests in your home can be stressful. From creepy crawlies to critters under the floorboards, they disrupt your peace of mind. But don't worry. All Pest Solutions is here to help. We offer a comprehensive range of safe and effective pest control solutions. We target all types of pests, big or small, including insects, rodents, and wildlife. All Pest Solutions, your local experts for a pest-free home. Breathe easy and enjoy your life again. Call today for a free quote. 972-442-1169 or email us at customerservice@allpestsolutions.com.
To belong is one of our most basic human needs. Best Buddies International is the world's largest organization dedicated to ending the social isolation of 200 million individuals who have intellectual and developmental disabilities. We focus on meaningful one-to-one friendships, integrated employment, leadership development, and inclusive living. You have the power to make an impact, create change, and champion our mission of inclusion today.
We are Cloud Staff, enabling remarkable growth for businesses everywhere with our pioneering enterprise-grade remote work solutions. We are on a mission to help business owners scale while reducing costs by matching you with an amazing staff, mobilizing your team, and helping manage business performance, making us the #1 workplace as remote work gets done. Connect with us to access the world's top talent and discover how we can enable remarkable growth for your business.
And now, back to the show.
And now it's time for What's the Difference?
Well, what's the difference? I'm going to read the question, and you're going to give me a 20, 30-second response. If you start rambling, we're going to give you the buzzer. No offense. It's just going to be funny, but try not to ramble. And then I'll come back, and we'll give you the official answer. All right. Start you with a simple one here. What's the difference between being recognized as a thought leader and being seen as just another professional? Let's start with you, Dina.
Oh gosh, I'm so nervous about this segment. Oh, okay. The difference between being a thought leader and just being say again?
Being recognized as a thought leader and being seen as just another professional.
I think when you're recognized as a thought leader, when you teach people how to think and how to reframe maybe a negative mindset that they have, or you challenge their mindset. It's so horrible at being put on the spot.
There you go. You already got an audience clap.
Okay.
That's good. Jonathan.
I think a thought leader has differentiated and done something different than kind of the status quo, to challenge the status quo.
Okay. Audra? Hey, the audience loved it. It's great. Audra?
I think a thought leader is able to forecast the future needs of their target audience and get ahead of those trends and really build longevity for their business.
That's excellent. Meena.
I think thought leadership is about having an expertise and putting in, aligning it with the need of your client and delivering a product or a service that would really help them, to succeed in whatever they're looking for, the solution.
Well, between all four of you, you definitely hit the nail on the head. Being recognized as a thought leader means being acknowledged for your expertise, influence, and this is what Audra talked about, and the ability to shape industry trends or opinions. Being seen as just a professional means being competent and capable, but not necessarily distinguished or influential in your field. All right, great job. Second question. What's the difference between building a personal brand and blending in with the crowd? This is particularly relevant to today. Building a personal brand and blending in with the crowd. Let's go backwards. We'll start with you, Meena.
Personal brand and can you read that again, please?
What's the difference between building a personal brand and and blending in with the crowd?
So basically, if I'm thinking about me, so it would be making sure that I understand the community that I'm working in, and then understanding the need and going backwards from there and creating a solution for that problem. So that would be my personal branding, bringing the uniqueness, not the cookie cutter as a,
Okay. Excellent. Audra?
I think it's leading with your core values, because there may be a lot of quote unquote competition out there doing what you do, for example, in the health space like I do. But when you lead with who you are as a person and what you stand for, you are unique in who you are. There isn't anybody else who is exactly like you that's coming from the same place, that's communicating the way you are, and you're going to resonate differently.
Great answer. Great answer. Dina?
Yes, I agree with all. Mine's a combo of all three of those things, but I think it is recognizing that you are called to a unique calling, and that there are things and gifts and talents and abilities that you have to bring to the world that answer specific needs. And it's not just about building a personal brand; it's about meeting that need.
Love that, Jonathan.
And I think finally is having the courage to get your personal brand out there consistently so people can see it and understand what your values are, as Audra said, but consistently having the courage to put it out there. And not
That's great. Man, you guys are killing it today. Building a personal brand involves actively shaping how you are perceived, highlighting your unique strengths. You mentioned that, Meena, values and expertise. Blending in with the crowd means conforming to industry norms and expectations, often without distinguishing yourself from others, which is no bueno. Last question. You guys are just flying through this. This is awesome. What's the difference between being a specialist and being a generalist? What's the difference between being a specialist and being a generalist? I'm going to start with someone that is just not expecting me to start with them at all. Dina. Like, oh crap. It's me.
Well, I think that one to me is like, I realize that I can't be all things to all people. And, like if I'm a restaurant, I'm going to focus on, what my specialty is and what I can do better than anybody else. I'm going to focus on that and build strength around me for those those areas that maybe I'm not as strong in. But in building my brand, I'm going to focus on what I do best, because that's when I serve best.
Jonathan, great answer.
Yeah, I think it's important to have the courage to not try to fix everyone, to not try to, I think in branding and having a business, you really want to niche down and be the absolute expert at a given thing and a given space, so that you are known for it, and not so we have to turn patients away. And I think as business owners, we have to have the courage to understand where we are, where we're the master of none, and we are truly the master of that one thing.
That's great. That's great. I agree. Audra.
Well, I think they both said it very well. It's finding your niche, really taking a step back and thinking about who is your avatar, who are you here to serve, and being very specific in that. And tying back to what we talked about earlier, it's building that network within your business where, hey, if I can't serve you the way that you need it, my buddy over here who aligns with the core values that you're saying you're looking for, that resonate with me, I can feel comfortable and confident sending you over there. So you don't have to be a jack of all trades and a generalist.
Yeah, and you Meena, sorry. Gosh, I almost forgot you. That's terrible. Can't forget Meena.
Yes. So for me, I always feel that being a specialist means that, if you have a need, say if you're thinking about college apps, I should be the first one on your mind. So being relevant and, being unique and having that niche is very important. And I feel you have to go above and beyond, be an expert in that field. Otherwise, how would you serve your community?
Yeah, that's a great answer. And it really, you guys have mentioned core values and kind of standing on your principles too, which allows your expertise to kind of shine through because you have that connection with the people that you're actually trying to reach. This one's a little interesting because the answer is the first two were, one was obviously better than the other. And I think as a business owner, being a specialist is definitely better. But this is the answer. I like this. Being a specialist involves developing deep expertise in a specific area, which you talked about, often becoming a go-to authority in that niche, which everybody's touched on. Being a generalist involves having broad knowledge across multiple areas, often enabling flexibility and adaptivity in various roles. So that's not a bad thing either. But at the same time, you got to figure out, you may want some of those people in your circle, but you got to figure out what is your role. If we try to do too many things at once, we spread ourselves too thin. We don't actually, especially in branding, maybe we have such a large area that we can't really find the exact people that we want to target. We don't build that loyal core following. Guys, great conversation today. Thank you so much. Let's give 30 seconds to each of you to wrap up here. Dr. Meena, we'll start with you. 30 seconds. What was your favorite part? What did you learn? What are you excited about?
Excited about being here. And then, of course, getting to know so many things today. It was amazing to meet Brian and to know about the Congress, running for the Congress, that precinct 32. Yeah. And then I think my favorite takeaway is what we learned today about brand relevance and how we can make ourselves better to serve the community better. I think that's the takeaway from me.
Dina, what about you?
I'm just so inspired hearing everyone's heart today and just hearing the passion behind each one of you and what you do and why you do it is incredible and so encouraging. And I have so many notes. I mean, I have so many takeaways. I cannot wait to get to know each of you better and hopefully work with you, partner with you. We're stronger together.
Jonathan?
Yes, couldn't agree more. Makes you realize there are some great people just right here that give you faith back in humanity, and they're right across the street, and we can all help each other, and we all have very good insights into our business. And if you're just working on your business alone, you're really not taking advantage of the entire human experience. So I'm grateful you put this on to put us all in touch so that we can continue to learn from each other, and if anything, just be around good people.
Audra, final 30 seconds to you.
Well, I think my biggest takeaway is just to be an effective business owner or operating a business. I think you lead with being a good citizen and a good community member, and connecting with other businesses is a great way to do that, and just communicating your core values. I think this is a great way to just attract what you're looking for out in the world. And it's so much bigger than just bringing someone into your business and doing a transaction.
100%, man. Guys, thank you so much. Great conversation today. Come out and join us tomorrow at the BDA at Leavenworth, Texas, 4 p.m. Happy hour to follow. And then next in November, our topic, throw that up on the screen if you can, Lennon. Our topic for November is going to be all around your personal behavioral branding, professionalism on display. You won't want to miss that. We won't have a show next week on the 5th Wednesday. We'll probably run this show again because it was fantastic. Join us the first Wednesday of November. We'll be back here. And I thank you guys so much. If y'all stick around, we want to talk to you after the show. But you guys have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for watching today's show.
The Community Difference Plano was made possible by Nathan Smith with the Enfuego Group, Diane Castle with Castle to Castle, connecting charities to fundraising solutions, Tracy Duff with Assisted Living Locators, Lauren Gill with My Live Love Travel, Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage, Megan Schoffer with the Hive of the Happily Insured, Jeannie Smith with Guardian Mortgage, a division of Sunflower Bank, N.A., and by Audra Hooper with Alloy Personal Training at the Glen Eagles Plano and Castle Hills locations. The Community Difference Plano. Together, we can make the difference.